Hey there, good afternoon. I hope that you are doing well today. Um, I could say enjoying your favorite cup of coffee, your favorite cup of tea, but you probably transitioned to water. I hope that you have for at noon. We should not be drinking coffee at noon, right? So we're going to do a special Plan With Me Live, and I'm really excited about this one. Yesterday, I did a brand new workshop, Turn What You Know into a Template. And what I thought that we would do today is I'm going to do just a snapshot of that. So I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. But then I'm going to do a demo at the end. So I've had a lot of conversations and I've not fixed scarcity, like literally had a lot of conversations around you brought up some interesting ideas. What about this? You brought up some interesting ideas. What about this? So we are going to turn what you know into a template, and specifically this template, because I just had this conversation in the inbox and maybe they're on with me now about fundraising specifically for a service dog. And so they are launching a nonprofit, and they talked about a couple of different things, but the last part with that fundraising for a service project, can you turn that information into a template? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want to do a little bit of planning. And I think in a little bit of planning, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to, let me share my slides. Let me warm up my mouse because she's been quiet. Let me see here. There we are. Okay. Now I'm going to share. And so my screen, let me just double check here on my app just to make sure that you can see. You should be able to. And if you, so here's the thing too with chat. If you guys, hold on, can you guys see? Hopefully, yeah, hopefully in the chat you can see. I'm trying to get to my channel. Yes, it looks like I'm live. And let's see. Hey, Anna and the qualified poodle. It's a black screen. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay. Maybe you can see me now. Let me make sure. I never know how to do this, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. We got it. All right. So I have to remember that you see this screen. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you see it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So for planning purposes, when I want to think about, and I want to get realistic with planning and like realistic expectations on how long it would take you to turn what you know into a template. All right. And we're going to show a demo later. So the 3-step formula that I shared yesterday was all about simple, repeatable, and profitable. All right. Been doing this for 6 years. I have a couple of different templates that I'm selling right now. I've had a template that I've sold for 6 years that has over 9,000 customers, and that is the Business Command Center, the simple solution to organizing all your digital assets. I'm advanced maternal age, and it would really be nice if I could organize all of those things in a filing cabinet, but I can't. So we're in a digital age. So now we can organize everything on one template. People, when they come to me for business organization, it's they think they're organized because they got Google, Dropbox, OneDrive, external drive, hard drive, desktop, you name it. But all of those places is where all of the things are scattered. So that is one template. And that really has kicked off my whole journey around having a template that I sell and having a list of buyers who've purchased that template. Other templates that I have a $19 simple social. This literally was a question that my customer was asking. How can I organize all of my social media posts? And I was like, oh, well, we do that all day long. This is a system we've been using. It took me 48 hours to document that. I documented it and I launched it. And within 2 months, yesterday we had like 612 purchases off of a $19 template. What's that? Like almost $12,000. That's college tuition for a semester. Now we only have 2 in college, but at one point we had 3 in college. So I know my bills. And then I just launched a new template, the Client Command Center. Do you see a thing? Client Command Center. It's 47. Why is that? So every Tuesday, I do Trello Tuesday, and I work with my customer who purchases the Business Command Center in getting that template up and running and really kind of showing how to use Trello. And I do that once a week. And there's 4 weeks typically in a month. And out of four, 3 of those sessions, someone would ask, how can I manage my clients inside of Trello? And the follow-up question to that is, does each client need a board? And I would share the system, I would do it on the fly. And what was interesting, I could see their wheels turning, but then immediately when I was finished, do you have any questions? The hand would raise and they would say, can I get the replay? Yes, you can get the replay. I share replays, limited replays each week. And so that got me to thinking, and I am not like the obvious see the neon sign, but I'm like, you know what? I can document the system and turn it into a template and share it with my community. This is what they want. This is what my community is telling me that they need. And so I wanted to give you 3 examples, and we're going to talk about them a little bit here in terms of the planning and the three-step formula that you're getting ready to see. So step 1, productize your expertise into a smart template. So that's the first step in planning. Step 2, package and price, so buyers feel like they are winning. And then step 3, deliver in a way that builds trust and future sales. Okay. Let me see that it still is doing that. Let me go back up here. Hold on. Let me get to it. Okay. Turn what you know into a template. So this is the first thing. I want to talk just a little bit here why teaching is hard and templates are easy to build or easy to buy. Inside of programs, and this was kind of like the old school way of doing programs, folks would buy your program, but here's the thing. You don't know what experience and knowledge they're bringing to the table. And so you almost had to go back and meet them where they were. That's why people say, I'm overwhelmed before I even start. You had to bring them up to speed. And so inside of programs, that's why teaching is hard. Templates, on the other hand, are easy to buy. And here's why. I want to share with you what I call my bucket method. So back when we first started homeschooling 15 years ago, I was a hot mess. Like I thought I could do it, have a master's degree. Oh yeah, I got this. I brought 2 home. And what ended up happening was everybody needed me and they all needed me at one time. And they were all different ages and stages, readers and non-readers. And so I would be doing math, which I hate math, but I would be doing math with one child. And then another child would come up. How do I do this? What do you want me to do next? How do I do this? I can't figure this out. And so I was like, we can't do this because there are too many interruptions. And so what I would do is I planned out the week, and each night, what I would do is I call the bucket method. So the child would come in. We actually had a room in our house that was our classroom, and they would sit at their desk and they had various buckets. And inside of a bucket, whether they were a reader or non-reader, you could look inside of that bucket and you could see all of the pieces and parts to complete the task. And they would have to sit there and think about how they were going to complete the task, whether it was a worksheet, maybe sometimes for the non-readers, for the younger. I mean, there were other activities that we were doing like fine motor skill and things like that. If they had a question while they were going through the bucket, they would slap a sticker on work with mom. And that would alert me after I got finished with working on math, which I hated. Then I would go and I would just check in with the other kids and I could see where they had a friction or they had a stumbling block. Why do I share that with you? Is because your goal, number 3 here, design a template where they feel the result in 10 minutes or less without you. So without you being in the room. It's exactly what I did with the bucket method. The child could complete the task in most instances, and they could feel the result. There is an empowerment. There is a confidence. Give me what I need. Whatever friction point they are having, solve it in a very short period of time. That's a dopamine hit. When they hit a dopamine hit, then you have a customer for life. I don't want us to overcomplicate this. A lot of times when business gets complicated, I talk about your shoulders like feeling like they're earrings. And then I was like, what would it look like if it were simple? It's almost like you exhale and your shoulders, your, your shoulders drop. And you're like, well, it would be blah, 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 blah. So do that. It's no more complicated than that. Us as human beings, human nature, we're going to overcomplicate everything, right? So you already know how to solve a problem, whether that is how to never lose a sock, whether that is your kid's chore chart, whether that is how you manage cleaning, whatever it is you do, you already know how to solve a problem. Talked about this yesterday. You do this every time you walk a client, or maybe you walk a team member through a process. You were telling them step by step how to complete that task. And again, don't overcomplicate it. Don't give them everything. It's just the one thing, right? You repeat the same advice over and over and over again. How many times inside of your inbox are you writing the same email? That's what I want right there. The thing that you were writing over and again, sending a custom doc, a video. So I want to stop here for just a second. Video and ideas for templates and as they relate to videos. So I use Loom. Loom is a Google Chrome extension. You can use the free version, but basically what it does, it's a screen recorder. And I actually record my podcast. I'm so fancy. Record my podcast that way, record my weekly videos that way. If somebody has a question in the inbox, I will turn on Loom and I will answer their question right there. I love Loom. Use whatever you want to use. But what did I just say? I use Loom a lot. There is a lot of information inside of Loom. I have thousands of videos inside of Loom. One of those is how I solve a problem because I've explained it multiple times. Used to be when I was managing the inbox and I had the same question coming in, I recorded a Loom, then I created a template so I could quickly go in 3 times a day and they need this one, they need this one, they need this one. To me, I'm visual to a default, to a fault, not a default. I am default, right? And I love video. I love seeing the solution, right? Or a resource. Maybe there's a resource that you have created. To be honest with you, there's one document that I have inside of that client command center, and it's probably overlooked and it's probably dismissed that you don't really need it. In and of itself could be a template that's sold. And let me explain why. It's the How I Work document. The How I Work document is part of your customer journey when someone works with you. There are things that you explain, how you share files, how payment is collected, how you run the project, when people can contact you, your contact information. I have big headings for each section and each department in how I work with a customer. And what you're doing by sending that document when you're onboarding someone is you are anticipating the questions that they are going to ask. And when they make a purchase with you, and most of the time, if you're working one-on-one with a client, that's a premium offer. And so what happens when we purchase? We purchase like we're maybe nervous, then we're really excited, and then buyer's remorse can set in. I don't know why I can't talk. I'm excited. It can set in. This document is an onboarding document. It's almost like I'm anticipating that's going to happen, and I'm sharing with you how we are going to work together. There is a comfort in the structure. There is a comfort in anticipating what my needs are if I'm coming to you as the expert. Another thing, just really quickly, is a side note working with clients, especially if you're doing one-on-one and those are call recordings. I give a structure and I tell them what the structure is for the call. Like literally the call is 45 minutes and then we will do about 10, 15 minutes of Q&A. And then I share with you if there's something that I need, it will be an assignment or it will be a task that I need. And I have that information in Slack. So it's a reminder. Maybe they're not writing it down. Maybe it gets lost, but everything is always organized in Slack. So I'm letting them know what the structure for our time is. We're not just going to ramble on. 45 minutes of XYZ. And then you've got opportunity to ask questions. And then at the end, I'm giving the assignment and you'll be able to find that in Slack. I am directing, I am hand holding. That is white glove service. If you want to separate yourself from the crowded market, if you want to separate yourself from the crap that's out there, both digital product wise and service based, people that work with service providers, that's how you do it. All right. I know it's like a little side note, but I think that's important there. All right. So a smart template captures that expertise so others can use it. Beautiful comment here, without you being in the room. I want to be really careful here and address passive income. A smart template captures that expertise so they can use it without you being in the room. They can solve their problem without you being there. I don't believe in passive income. Maybe it's because I continue to upgrade my customer journey as people are onboarded into the products and services that I offer. I think that with the invention of AI, I mean, when I first started my template 6 years ago, AI wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing that we knew that we were using. And now, fast forward 6 years, if I'm not using AI in some way, then I'm missing the boat. There was a product a couple years ago that I upgraded. It was just the name of the product with AI. And I did a little mini launch that resulted in like $15,000 because I added an AI component. All right. So it's not just about saving time, it's about building an asset that works while you don't. So I've built these templates and I continue to upgrade those templates and the benefit of those templates. But it is an asset that I know it's like a copy machine, right? It is working while I don't, and it is on repeat. So the question to you is, in terms of planning here, think of something you've done a few times recently, a task, a process others ask you about. It's a great place to start. What comes to mind? So go ahead and just write that down. We did this yesterday. This is where a lot of ideas were like really popping up. So let's talk about in planning step 2, price it right and package it simply. This is so important. All right. Stop chasing the freebie crowd. I know I'm going to take a minute and just go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. We've all been told we need subscribers. We need email subscribers, right? So how then were we supposed to get email subscribers? We're supposed to get email subscribers by doing a really pretty freebie that we share, and then we get their email, and then there's an email sequence and a nurture sequence that we give folks to nurture them into scheduling a call. Maybe it's a membership or a program. Do you know how hard that is? It is difficult. And so that freebie now, what happens to that freebie? I'm going to tell you what happens to that freebie. It stays in the inbox because I know, because this is like one of the lists that we talk about at the Business Command Center. The favorite list is the courses list. I'm letting the cat out of the bag. Why is that the favorite list? Because the assignment that I give you is go in your inbox right now, look up these keywords and see all of the things that you've purchased that you're not using. So I know that people, when they purchase stuff, it's in the inbox. So I know the freebie's there. You might have gotten excited, but then you get distracted and you never get back to the freebie. And there are very few people who do freebies really, really well. Amy Porterfield is coming to mind, right? There's also been a time in digital low ticket industry where $7 was a good idea. And I am future pacing for you. I think that the focus initially when you launch a low ticket template should be to get the first 100 sales. And we'll talk about why in just a second. But that $7, if now you want to grow and scale it, what does that mean? That means doing ad dollars. And with the cost increasing, if you start at $7, you are going to have to work really hard to scale with ads, meaning you're going to have to sell a whole bunch of things to add it to a good average cart value. So what somebody spends with you, because the cost of acquisition is so high, what you spend to get a client. All right. So the foundational piece here is don't start with $7 and we need to stop freebies. Because in the end, I want you to think about when we say freebie, If you're building an email list on any of the platforms, I think, what is it, MailerLite? And they may have changed the pricing plan. Up to 1,000 is free. If you're using an email service provider, you are paying for that service each and every month. As you have more people who have opted into the freebie, you are paying money to someone to get their attention that may or may not open your email. If you're not emailing these people on a weekly basis, what is your open rate? Well, it's going to be zero because you're not emailing them. But then all of a sudden, you're going to email them and they're going to unsubscribe. You've been paying for that person. All right. So I'm looking out for your budget. I'm looking out for your budget and what you're spending. So price for the result, not the solution. Y'all, this is a really powerful slide here in terms of planning. When you think about the transformation or result that the template creates. Now, remember the bucket method. Remember that we want the solution in 10 minutes or less. What would it cost them? Time, energy, or mistakes? So there were a lot of mindset shifts that happened with me when I started selling my template. And one of the biggest ones was this. Are they going to realize it's just a template? Like I sold $30,000 in templates one month. Are they going to realize this is just a template? And you will see on my ads, people will say, what? Is this just a Trello template? Yes, it is. But then I also get these two comments. I know it's a template. I know I could do it myself, but you've done it for me. Thank you. Or people who have used my template will circle back and say, I bought this 3 years ago. It's the best thing for my business. I use it every single day. If you are unorganized, if you are feeling scattered and overwhelmed by all of your digital assets and organizing all of those things, do you think time, energy, or mistakes? We always feel like we're going to miss something. And so those are things even today, because even in my ads today, is this just a Trello template? Yeah, it is. And I offer this, this, and this. All right. Because this next slide, if your $27 template helps someone land a $2,000 client, it's a no-brainer. Like, would you not buy that $27 template all day long if you knew that it would land a $2,000 client? Heck yeah, I would. Price with the end result in mind, not the number of pages. And I think a lot of bloated programs has trained us to think I need to give them more, when in essence, you just need this tiny solution. So we're going to talk just a little bit about packaging. There's no need for a 12 module course or 10 bonuses to make it feel worth it. And you don't have to use complicated software. So I like to say, rule of thumb, one clear promise, one clear deliverable equals a confident buyer. This is my dashboard now for my templates. So this did not always start like this, and the template has not always been this simple. So let me explain. So if you don't have Trello, and here's the other thing. Well, what format should I use? The format almost doesn't matter. I used Trello because I'm visual and it was easy as a project management tool. If my folks are unorganized, maybe 9 times out of 10, maybe they started using Trello and they're not using Trello. And more than likely, they're not using a project management tool. Yesterday, I talked about it as I am putting the veggies, I'm hiding the veggies because I want you to start using a project management tool to streamline, because that means that the revenue, basically, if you're streamlined, then you're growing your business so you can shut your laptop and do more of what you love. When I think about project management tools, Trello, hands down, is super simple. So if you don't have a Trello account, very simple. You click the button and no, I'm not an affiliate. I mean, if you think about over 9,000 people that have bought my templates, man, that's a huge boost. I need to contact Trello. Number 2, or this is actually, so you need an account. Step 1, it's literally 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, you push a brown button. You got to load the template. Be logged in. You got to load the template. Step 2, Now we need to make a copy. Do you know how easy this is now and how difficult it used to be? And then step 3, how to get the most out of it. I have added additional pieces, which we're getting ready to transition into, just because I want to have that connection with my customer. So let's get into that part. Deliver it like a pro, even if you're not techie. I want to take a hot minute right here. This is going to differentiate you in a crowded market. Anywhere that you can use video, and video is king. So let's dive in a little bit. How you deliver your product sets your tone for everything that comes next, from the trust to referrals to repeat sales. People remember your product, how it made them feel. If it's smooth, clear, and easy to use, they tell their friends. So in the beginning, I didn't send videos, not for the $27 product. It's something I wanted to do inside of my membership. All of my members get a video welcome from me. But then I was like, you know what? I want everybody to have a video welcome from me. So I do that. If you buy the Business Command Center, you're going to get a video welcome from me. I cannot tell you how many responses I get. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Who are you? And what is this magic software? They love it. Why? I don't have a brick and mortar store. I am virtual. And if I want people to differentiate me from the crap that is out there, it is because I'm showing up in your inbox with an animated video waving, saying, hey, thank you for your purchase. I appreciate people who purchase from me. Hands down. So that's why I like this whole authentic and where it's like that. Like, I hate this because like you should just be showing up who you are, right? Your product delivery is part of your brand, not just a back-end task. This is the other thing. Like when people talk about programs and launching a product, they get you to launch whatever product. Here it all is in the dashboard, and the launching literally is the email sequence that people get. I want to try to create an interactive environment. I don't always get it right and my tech breaks, but I let my customer know that I am working with them to create a good customer experience. All right. Design a customer journey they didn't see coming, but absolutely love. It could be, and this has happened, it could be that they purchase my template, they get my video, and they never do anything with the template. But I've made an impression because in their inbox, I sent them a video. And maybe they start opening my emails and maybe they're like, you know what? I'm going to go to her onboarding call. I host an onboarding call for people who purchase a $27 product. In a mastermind, I'm called crazy. But I want to get in touch and communicate with my customer, and I want to do it outside of just email. What's interesting about that, because of those calls, I've launched Simple Social and generated almost $12,000. Because of those calls, I have just launched Client Command Center, and we've sold, I think, 25. And I've not really published it at all, but I have sold 25 of those templates at $47 a piece. All right. My customer tells me what they need. And when they see me, they know me. Create a simple onboarding flow. Onboarding starts with a confirmation page. Let's talk about this really quickly in terms of planning. With a confirmation page, you do not want to put thank you and that's it. The confirmation page is a video. Hey, I'm Rhonda. Thank you so much for your purchase. I want to let you know what happens next. You, again, what are we doing? We're anticipating, just like with the How I Work document, we're anticipating the questions. We're anticipating that buyer's remorse. I want to let you know, you have already changed the game with that customer journey and experience. Sprinkle video in everywhere. I do a weekly video email. I do videos. If you email me inside of Systems by Design, you literally can click. I have a whole video system. It is, if you have a friction point, it's called Help Me Rhonda. You hit that video or you hit that button. You can type or you can video, and I will video you back. And it goes straight to your inbox. Think outside of the box and how you can create an interactive experience with your customer. Why it matters. When people know exactly what you do, what to do next, they're more likely to use your product. Because again, people buy, they're scrolling middle of the night, oh, that looks good, and they buy it. But when you show up in their inbox and you show up differently, they're more likely to use your product. And the buyers who finish, they will buy from you again, again, again. Customers for life. So here are the key takeaways. Why templates are better than teaching. I'm not poo-pooing programs, but I'm just telling you, for me, this was like a really huge distinction. Teaching versus a template. A template, they can do it without me. They can get the quick win. And maybe if I do open a higher tier program, maybe I'm working one-on-one with customers, I'm doing a coaching program, whatever that looks like. It's almost like you're kind of creating your customer. Way back when I was doing my children's consignment sale, I was always creating my customer. So thousands of families would come from all over to shop. I had special shopping times for first time moms. My first time mom was my future customer as a consigner. I did things for first time moms. I partnered with Infamil. I partnered with Chick-fil-A. I partnered with other companies and would give basically bundles to moms when they came to shop, and they got their own special shopping time. Are you kidding me? So I collected their email at checkout. And then the next time that the sale happened, I would let people know. And guess who registered? I could get 300 people to register in the first 24 hours. We are creating our customer. We're almost teaching them before they upsell and they buy into our other programs. So you also saw how to price and package your offer for real buyers. And I'm future pacing here. We're going to do more than a freebie and more than $7. And you discovered unexpected customer delivery. Dazzle and delight, like surprise them. In the beginning, I was not using the software that I use now for videos. I would use Looms. And people who joined the membership, that's how I started doing it. I literally would record a Loom video for every single person, and I would send it to them. One launch, 89 people joined. I recorded 89 videos. Why? We're in an age where you got to do stuff to stand out in a crowded market. You got to do stuff that lets people know the sincerity that you have about them joining your program. They are paying money to you. And whatever you do with that money is what you do with that money. I mean, I think it's just being a good human, right? So here is where we're going to get into the fundraising and service dogs. So we've talked about the three things, right? Basically the three questions. Now, would you like my help putting everything we've talked about today into action? So I'm going to see if let me see. I'm going to, no, it's still there. Hold on just a second. I need to change. I'm going to stop. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. Hey, and let me start sharing again. And you're going to see, okay, you should see it here in just a second. There's a lag on the phone. Okay, let me hop back here. Okay, so now you should see it here. I'm waiting for the lag to pop up. Okay, perfect. All right, so it's working now. All right, so I'm going to close that sidebar. So we've got the knowledge template. Here's how we're putting all that together. And I think you're going to lose your mind. So I got a conversation. I told you I had a conversation. And I'm always, I think like the big gurus have like messed it up for us small guys, because when I say things happen, it's like, yeah, that's marketing speak, right? But the reason I say that is because, well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, knowledge to template. We're going to click here to get started. I've had a lot of conversations here recently with folks. And one of the conversations was, you brought up some good points. You brought up some good ideas, which has made me start to think, could I create a template for XYZ? I'm starting a nonprofit organization. And specifically, she talked about fundraising and fundraising for service dogs. So this is knowledge to template. Let's see if we can do it. Hey there, let's get started. So it's friendly. Think of something you've done a few times recently, a task or process others ask you about. That's a great starting point for your template. What comes to mind? So I'm literally going to put in here fundraising for service dogs. And now I'm going to just click enter. So we're going to get another, it's going to ask you 3 questions. So task, perfect. That's your task. Fundraising for service dogs gives me a little heart. Next step. Think about the template. Think about the kind of person you'd love to help. The one who would get real value from this template. Who is it? Example. So they're giving me dog trainers. Let's just do this. Parents of kids with disabilities. I love that because I actually, with my sale, one of the girls, her child had diabetes, and she did a fundraiser for a service dog. It took a long time, but they got that service dog. So this is perfect. So we're going to say parents of kids with disabilities. And I'm just using what chat gave me, right? Got it. So your audience is parents of kids with disabilities. Now let's pick the best delivery method. So again, it's not like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. Is it a doc, a sheet, a Trello? I'm just going to say it's Trello. And when I say that, Trello is a really easy software to use, and it's an easy way for me to deliver it. If you are familiar with Notion, you do Notion. If it's ClickUp, whatever it is for you, you don't have to pick Trello. Okay. Now I'm going to click enter. The vehicle, i.e. Trello, is not the thing that people are buying. People are buying the solution. You're just delivering it through Trello. Okay, great choice. So the format is Trello. Here's what we've got so far. Task is fundraising for service dogs, parents of kids with disabilities, and the format is Trello. Are you ready to generate your full ready to sell template package? I always get nervous. So let me say yes. I am excited and nervous. Okay. So part of that is also just like having a conversation with chat. All right. So now we're going to hit go. Here we go. Perfect. It's exactly the right energy. Let's turn that excitement into something that's real and ready to sell. Here comes your template package. So we got the little puppy, which I love, service dog fundraiser Trello board, step-by-step fundraiser tracker, mission ready fundraiser organizer for service dogs. So they're giving me some template names. Those are okay. It's a Trello board, and the audience, parents of kids with disability. The use frequency is going to be daily during active fundraising. So it gives me the description for the board. This Trello template helps parents organize, track, and optimize their fundraising efforts for a service dog. Designed for busy families navigating healthcare, school, and advocacy. Oh my, I'm loving this right now. And if you messaged me in the inbox, I hope you're loving this right now. This system keeps everything visible, structured, and actionable. Whether you're planning events, applying for grants, or managing donations, this board walks you through each step with clarity and confidence. So here are the key features. It's guided fundraising stages, prep, launch, outreach, follow-up, the timeline, event tracker, grant and sponsor tracking cards, tips, scripts for email, social post, and donor ask. Y'all, this is giving us everything. I'm losing my mind right now. Okay. How to use, start with the start here card to get oriented, then move through each list as your campaign progresses. We have a welcome section, format specific structure for Trello, and then bonus suggestions. Add Canva templates for flyers and social posts. Include a donation goal calculator so you can add. I love this because so we have the core content for the template. Now, these are bonus suggestions, which this donation goal tracker, so you could use a Google Sheet, but I'm also thinking about you could have a Canva, like a flyer that you're actually coloring in, and you can just take pictures of it as you color it in and you're sharing on social media. And then offer a printable checklist for offline use. Pricing guide, $19 to $49, higher tier if you include extras like edible scripts, video guides, and bonus resources. This is really important use of template license. And I go into this inside of Low Ticket Designer on what you should include. I've had a lot of things you can imagine over the past 6 years come up. So this is really important that you put in here. All right. So, you know what I want to do? I want to go in a little bit deeper here. I want to, and I have no idea. So let me just see. So I want to go, because it asked me here, want to go deeper on any part. I'm going to say yes. Can you? So you can go deeper on any of this. Can you go deeper on this? Guided fundraising steps. Absolutely. Nice. Lay the groundwork before asking for a dime. So here are example cards. So we're thinking about Trello. This is a list, and these are individual cards. Define your fundraising goal. Write out your child's story. Choose your fundraising platform. Set up a donation page. So these are all of the things in the prep stage in one list that you can add. Look at this. You've got the campaign launch, community outreach. Y'all, this is literally building everything for you. And look, would you like me to drop these in full Trello card templates or help you personalize the tone for your brand? I'm not going to go any further than that. But I just wanted you to see. So I'm going to stop share there, and I'm going to go back because we're going to do that quick win really quickly. There we go. Now I'm going to go back. So we did the demo. It literally built everything that you need for the template. The thing that I love is that, and I wrote an email about this for this morning, it's literally my brain on your screen, and it's how I would organize the content. It gives you a full list. You can go deeper and expand, but you are the expert in, for example, fundraising for service dogs. So you could take a look. While I think it's a comprehensive list, that's where now you add your magic. And by just having the outline that I shared with you and that magic that is you, now you can hit the ground running instead of what am I missing? What should I add here? And just having the GPT, the knowledge template GPT, write everything for you. So that is the Plan With Me Live. That is, I thought it was interesting to take a look at really the 3 areas that I recommend that you focus your time and attention in terms of planning. I wanted to do the demo because I wanted to bring everything together before we hop off. Oh, look at you, Anna. This is amazing. Oh, the poodle. Okay. Oh, this is so brilliant. I love the going deeper part. Yes. Can you believe that? Like, it sets my brain on fire. I have been on fire since yesterday. If you didn't see me yesterday, so really quickly, I'm going to share here, and I believe it's the first comment in the description. So it is Low Ticket Designer. Low Ticket Designer is it's my brand new, spanking new, like everything I know about Low Ticket, I have put in Low Ticket Designer. But like the crown jewel is that GPT. That is my brain on your screen. I want to set proper expectations. So it's a step-by-step system to create, sell, and deliver your first or next. So if you've already got low ticket product, it is not just like throwing you off into the wild and say, here, go make a low ticket product and put $27 behind it. It is something that is very specific, and the reason why it's so specific, it's built to help you reach your first 100 sales. There is so much importance around your first 100 sales. Your first 100 sales, you should be in your inbox looking for frequently asked questions that your customer is having. So much gold drops from there. If your template is clear to you, but it's clear as mud to your customer, that's where you have an area of opportunity. And that's what happened to me initially. Your first 100 sales helps you to improve. It helps the deliverable. It also, once you get past that first 100, like that, we don't stop. We do not stop till we get to the 100. If you choose to, then when you do have 100, when you have 100 people who have purchased, that is the golden number. I load that list inside of ads, whether it's going to be here on YouTube or whether you do ads on Meta, which would be Facebook, Facebook or Instagram, and create lookalikes. So let me just stop here for a second. Why would I want that? Because my first 100 customers, those are my dream customers. They've raised their hand. We've connected some way, somehow. I wrote copy that resonated with them to solve their friction point. That is my customer. I want more customers like that. And so by loading the 100 emails in Meta, it's going to go look for people like that because I want to continue to work with my dream customer. All right. Really, really, really important. And that's why I put that 100 sales there. So everything that you get today, also the live onboarding call, we're going to do a live onboarding call next week on Thursday. We have the Help Me Rhonda on-demand coaching. We're going to do that for 30 days. So remember, I told you inside of Systems by Design, you can ask me anything. You can ask me anything here. I'm going to give you also, this goes live next week, behind the scenes walkthrough from a template launch because I've just launched 2. And then a 30-day step-by-step template launch Trello board. There's going to be so much that comes out of this and working with my community. Like, I know that I'm going to add more things. This is what I can tell you for sure is going to be there. All right. But I did not realize the need for this. And what I was talking about yesterday, talking about, I didn't want to go down a rabbit hole. So in Zoom, I have Zoom and I don't have the webinar anymore. That's like $80 a month. I just have the Zoom room, which is capacity of 100 people. At one point, I looked up and there were 89 people in the room and there were more wanting to get into the room. There were pages of Zoom room people. And it was it was humbling. It was overwhelming. But it also showed me that there is a need for this, especially this morning when I saw someone talk about their low ticket, kind of generic, and you can do it in 7 days. I can do it in 7 days because I've done it multiple times. I did one in 48 hours. I would never put that pressure on someone who's never launched a low ticket before, who's never launched a template before. That's setting them up for failure. And I really believe that's setting up unrealistic expectation. So this is a topic now. I'm putting my flag in the sand. I've been doing it for 6 years. And as a woman, I know that you want to carve out space for yourself and do something that's just for you. And I know that you also want to shut that laptop and you want to go off and do things with your family. And so here we go, friends. And look, realistic expectations. If all it did was help you make your first $100 in digital product sales, would it be worth it? Heck yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Especially you get access to that GPT. So my brain on your screen. What could this be worth to you? $500 a month in quote unquote, we'll say passive income. So you don't have to be doing something for it, right? That's $6,000 a year. Yes. $6,000 a year is half of a tuition bill for me. A list of buyers instead of browsers. That's future launch gold when you do want to launch. And the confidence, clarity, and control, priceless. So guys, it's 97. It's not $497. It's 97. Yes, one-time payment. The other question, it was a really good question that came up was, what if I have, so I've got ChatGPT, but I have the free plan. Can I still use the GPT? Yes, you can. Okay. And really quickly, this ended up being pretty fun. What if you're thinking I'm not techie? You're going to use the tools that you already have. I don't share like complicated tools for you to use. Those are friction points. I don't have an ID yet. Well, yes, you do. The knowledge to template helps you generate one in minutes. I don't have time. The knowledge to template does that heavy lifting for you. It's almost like it does, you cannot hide. You cannot hide anywhere here. I don't have an audience. I didn't either. Your first sales come from, you got to be really scrappy. You got to put it out there. Do you have that email list of freebies? Seekers? Are you in communities? Could you partner with somebody? You've got to be scrappy, boots on the ground. If you were thinking, well, I failed before, well, that's great. Then you already are ahead. You know what doesn't work. So let's build something that does, especially with that GPT. What if it's already been done? Fantastic. That means that people are buying it. Your spin is what makes it different. I'm not a salesperson. Great, because the template sells itself. Specifically, what I was talking about, so you guys will know this, the people who've already purchased from me don't know that it's coming, is I was like, there is a very specific way that I have noticed for low ticket that you present your information on a sales page. And whenever it gets to the sales page, people like their faces, they're sliding off, they're glazing over, like all of the things. I'm going to create for low ticket designer, a low ticket GPT sales page. Because I want you to be able to, and it's not done yet. I'm just telling you, it's not done. It's not there. So if you choose to buy, I'm letting you know that is something that here's the core things that I think you really need. But after yesterday, and just like people are like, where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? It got me to thinking, what other ways can I make this simple? All right. So that's what's come up for the salesperson. I've got too many ideas and I can't choose. Well, there, you just have to test. And here's the thing. How many times have you seen, well, what do you think? Blah, 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 blah. That could be like your dream customer or it could not be. You got to put it out there and see if it works. Because what works for you is not going to necessarily work for me, right? Whatever your template idea is, like I'm loving fundraising for service dogs. I wouldn't offer that. And so unless you are in that niche, you really like those are the people you need to be saying, hey, I've got this template and it will walk you through how to fundraise for your service dog. Would you be interested in that? That's your people. That's your group. I'm not ready to launch. You're ready to start. Your template doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be useful. This is since you get the template generator, this is a non-refundable. With all of my other products, you do get 7-day. This is a non-refundable because you're getting access to everything. When you click on the GPT, it's going to load in your Chat GPT account and it is yours to use. This is $97. It is a one-time payment. It is your step-by-step system, and you're going to be hearing a lot more from me about this topic. I feel very passionate about it, not because I've done it, but it's because I want to set proper expectations. And it's because, I mean, the stuff, y'all, seriously, like the stuff is pouring out of me on how to do this. If you registered and came yesterday, part of that was, I think there are 8 episodes. I did something fancy. Like I'm normally not fancy when I launch something, but I was like, let me talk about the case study. Let me talk about what you shouldn't do. Let me talk about, so there are 8 topics, and I'm going to put that link below this video as well for you to go and listen to, because I think, and they're all on one page, so you can binge them. And I probably should include that as a bonus on the inside of the product as well, if people don't get an opportunity to listen. But if I can do it, so what you didn't see is there was a slide, and the slide said that I'm a homeschooling soccer mom that generated or created a Trello template that's generated over $1 million in sales. And for me, that was really, really hard to share. But I think that it was important. It was important because I say I'm a homeschooling soccer mom. So I don't think that there's anything special about me. I think that we all have talents and we all have ways that we solve problems, and those are unique to us. And so I'm going to do nothing but encourage you to put your greatness out into the world with a template, with a paid template. It's something so specific. I want you to get it out there. I want you to launch it. And I am super excited about creating this community. I think we've sold like 50 to this point. I know we're probably, so it's open until next week, Wednesday at midnight, because we do the onboarding call on Thursday. We're going to take the next 30 days and I'm going to just help. And I'm going to add things that the community is asking me for. So it's going to be a fun process. Again, it's $97, one-time payment. I'm so excited to work with you. I'm so excited to help you launch. your low ticket because I know the versatility of it. Like one of the bonuses is calls that convert. And why would I do a calls that convert bonus with a template? Because I have sold premium packages and premium coaching packages from a $27 template. I've sold a $5,000 offer from a $27 template. I've sold an $18,000 offer from a $27 template. And what that calls that convert shares with you is my system on how to take someone and flip it into a sale for you for a premium offer. So it's a good bonus. I'm excited about that. But if you've got any questions, let me know here in the chat. I'm happy. I'm an open book to answer those questions for you. I'm just fired up about this topic because I feel like a lot of people need this, and a lot of people need just being set up for realistic expectations. All right. So we've been on for almost an hour. Thank you guys so much. Just sold one more. Thank you, Anna. Awesome. If you guys have any questions, let me know. All right. Take care. We'll talk soon.